Out of all the Black Lotuses that exist, the rarest has to be the Ultra Pro 9-piece Black Lotus. There are only 5 of these that exist in the entire world. And improbably, like a unicorn coming galloping out of your backyard, one has appeared before us and is actually available for sale right now.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. My friends, I hope the day finds you well because we are here to talk about a fascinating part of Magic the Gathering history. The 9-piece Black Lotus from Ultra Pro, as well as a side note, the 9-piece Chaos Orb. I figure since we're covering one, may as well cover them both. But the focus is really going to be on the Black Lotus, mainly because it is the rarer of these cards. The Chaos Orb, there could be up to a dozen in existence, but the Black Lotus, there are literally 5 or less. And today marks the first time in my life that I have ever seen the entire 9-piece Black Lotus assembled. So, with no further ado, I'm putting up on the screen right now the image of the fully assembled Black Lotus and Chaos Orb 9-piece Ultra Pro editions. If you've never seen them before, bask in their glory because these things are insanely rare. They are basically selling together for the princely sum of $100,000 or possibly euros or pounds. I'm not 100% sure, but 100,000 of the financial increment. So it's at least 100 grand, if not more, depending on the exchange rate and where you live, right? I live in Canada, so our money isn't worth as much as American money. 100,000 Americans like 125,000 ours. So depending on where you live in the world, this is at least $100,000 for the 2 of them. So the idea behind these is they were actually created as part of a contest from many, many moons ago. We're talking about all the way back in 1996, where Ultra Pro started the Black Lotus quest. So the idea behind it, I'm actually going to put up a little pamphlet from the old school days where it tells you, here's how you win and play the Black Lotus quest. It's easy to win. To win $250, all you have to do is assemble all 9 pieces of the Black Lotus. To win $100, all you have to do is assemble all 9 pieces of the Chaos Orb. Now, if you want to have a real twist through time, think about these prize values, $250 and $100. Those were actually the value of these cards back in the day. So if you won the contest, you could take that money and buy like a Black Lotus or a Chaos Orb. It's so nutty to think, oh, Black Lotus, just $250. One thing I want to point out as well that I really like is under the here's how you win. So if you look over on the right-hand side, it says to qualify for the Black Lotus quest, to win $250, collect up the 9 Black Lotus card pieces. To win $100, collect the Chaos Orb pieces. But then number 3, send the completed set in an Ultra Pro 1 pocket page along with the completed entry form below. So basically the form below, you fill that out, but I just love that it's an Ultra Pro page. There's a part of me that wondered, did anybody manage to acquire the individual cards and send them in, but not in an Ultra Pro page? And so, sorry, we disqualified you because you didn't buy a plastic page from us to put the cards in. And actually, speaking of the plastic pages, let's take a look at another one of the promotional notifications for this contest that specifically deals with the pages. So take a look at this. Obviously up at the top it says bonus, win up to $250. Enclosed in this pack is one of the limited edition Black Lotus or Chaos Orb puzzle cards. Collect all of them to make a set and win, right? So you get the whole thing and you win. But what I really like about this, and what isn't obvious when you're looking at this immediately, probably, is that they were selling packs of pages in packages of 8. 8 random binder pages. It feels so weird because in my life, I've only ever seen either individual pages or a box of pages. But if you bought this pack of 8 and then you end up winning, you're like, man, now I'm down to 7 pages. I got to give up one of my pages. It's funny to me. So these pieces showed up both in regular like binder page packages and also in deck boxes as well. And actually, you know what? Since we're talking about that, I want to show you guys something. I have a old school Ultra Pro box of sleeves, all right? And in this box of sleeves, you've got 100 red sleeves. This is from 1997. This is before they even called them sleeves. They called them deck protectors. And those sheets that we just saw, the Ultra Pro sheets, were specifically designed to hold a deck protector and a card in it. But my favorite part of this, and what you need to keep in mind, is when we started, nobody used sleeves. We looked at the people who used penny sleeves as weirdos, and when sleeves first showed up, nobody really adopted them. In fact, Magic the Gathering had a rule that said if your opponent was playing with sleeves and you didn't want him to, you could actually make him de-sleeve his deck, right? So the idea was they had an uphill battle in terms of trying to convince people to buy them. So you'll never see this on current day sleeve boxes. But this one says, conceals the back of your card to encourage fair gameplay. Wow! It also says, lengthens the lifespan of frequently played cards. Now, these are obviously very true statements. That's the two things that sleeves do. They make it so that you can't get nailed for having marked cards, and they make it so your cards don't get beat up from play. Because if you didn't play before the sleeves, man, let me tell you, cards got wrecked. The back of cards would get scuffed from all the tapping, the front and back would get scuffed from shuffling, and you'd get disgusting little hand jank all over the cards as well. But I thought that was a neat little note. Now, returning to the Black Lotus contest and what happened here is essentially it functioned in a way, to me, probably the easiest way to explain it is to use another contest with a similar style concept, and that would be McDonald's Monopoly contest. Although I don't know if they still do it the same way. I heard that it turns out that in the past, the McDonald's contest were actually being like grifted by the mafia or something like that. So all the winning pieces would be carefully handed out to friends and family. So like it was all rigged and whatever. But really, the way that the McDonald's contest used to work for Monopoly was buy a drink, buy fries, whatever it is, you pull a little tab off, and the little tab will be one of the Monopoly properties, right? So what you have to do is you have to either get 3 or 2 Monopoly properties, depending on what like set of properties you're trying to complete. But the problem is one of the properties from every set would be the rare piece, right? And so if you don't have the rare piece, you don't have a win. So it doesn't matter how many copies they print of the non-rare pieces. All that matters are the rare pieces. And it's the same scenario with this Ultra Pro 9-card collection setup, where they had particular pieces that were the rare piece, right? So you have, with the Chaos Orb, for example, the 7 of 9 was the rare piece. And actually, compounding this problem in a hilarious fashion was actually Star Trek. Star Trek had this hot Borg lady who was called 7 of 9, I guess because 6 of 9 would have been too on the nose, but 7 of 9. And because she was called 7 of 9, and these pieces for the contest were called 7 of 9, people literally would collect that piece. Like Star Trek enthusiasts would be like, yo, I'm going to get just one piece of this puzzle because it represents something I'm a fan of, which was a much bigger problem for the Chaos Orb puzzle than it was for the Black Lotus puzzle, because with the Black Lotus puzzle, piece number 7 is a common piece. It's piece number 9 that's the rare piece. So if you ever see 9 of 9 for a Black Lotus, get it. You can build the rest of the collection. You can pick up the other pieces of it for anywhere from like 50 to a couple of $100. Like each piece has a significant chunk of value to it, but it's really the rare piece that adds all the rest of the value. So you can probably get like 8 of the pieces for like $1,000 or less. So the bulk of your money is going to come from that 9 of 9. And the Chaos Orb didn't suffer as much from its rare piece being sought by collectors, because like the collectors of Star Trek and stuff, because the Chaos Orb was the more common and easier to complete puzzle. Hence the fact that there are like a dozen of them around. Now, obviously, we don't know what the initial print run of these, and we don't know how many of them got redeemed. But over the past 26 years, only 5 copies, maybe not even a full 5 copies, it might only be 4 copies, of the fully completed Black Lotus puzzle have come together. And I think it's amazing that the amount of money that you could win for the contest is nothing in comparison to the amount of money that you can get for these puzzle pieces later on. Like, unlike the Monopoly contest, you're not going to get any money for those old pieces unless maybe there's some like really out there Monopoly collectors who collect the old pieces. Maybe, who knows? Maybe you're going to correct me and be like, excuse me, you don't know about Monopoly fanatics and all the crazy pieces that they've saved up? If you get the boardwalk from 1992, it's actually worth $70,000. You know what I mean? I guess that could be the case. But ultimately, to me, I thought this was an interesting slice of Magic the Gathering history. The fact that one has surfaced and is available for sale is insane. And what's more insane is I expect somebody's going to actually go ahead and buy it. Anyways, thanks for coming by. Big thank you to all my patrons. See you guys next time. There's a lore video on right now on the screen if you want to see some awesome Magic lore. Bye for now.